Me and my mates, we was walking around Hatfield and we see this guy and he was getting done by the police outside Asda's just going, I'm only human, I'm only human. And then he left the police and let him go and we started talking to him like, you alright mate, what are you doing? And he's like, oh nothing, just fucking walking about, you know? And I was like, what's that? In his pocket had this big bulge. And we're like, what you got in your pocket? And he's like, a tin of beans. And we're like, what are you going on about? Why? He's like, I always carry a tin of beans around with me everywhere I go. I said, why? He said, well, if you're ever in trouble or you please stop you on the street in the middle of the night, he said, just went out to get some beans, mate. So, yeah, all moments.
Would you say Hatfield's a pretty interesting place?
I think so, man. I think it's very interesting.
So what do you think when you see that?
Right. The 10 most boring cities in the world, ideal for boring people. And what? Helsinki's 6th, Hatfield's 5th.
So we're close to being on the podium.
That's
most boring cities.
Yeah, that's a bit mad.
Is that your experience?
No, definitely not. This is a crazy town. There's so much amazing, crazy, mental things that go on in this town, man. Hatfield's a small town in Hertfordshire, often gets unnoticed on global stage. Its lack of notable attractions and limited cultural offerings contribute to its reputation as a somewhat underwhelming destination. That is a load of bullshit though, because literally, like where we are right now in this pub, outside, look, I'll show you.
No glasses up front, sorry.
Oh, sorry, mate, that's all right, no worries. This pub, yeah, so if you look here, and they're saying that there's no cultural significance or amazing things that happened in Hatfield. So look, the 8 Bells Historic Inn, the oldest pub in Hatfield dating from the 17th century. I mean, that's pretty old. Charles Dickens visited Hatfield in 1835. In the book Oliver Twist, we all know Oliver Twist, I did it as my school play. Dickens refers to a small public house, which is undoubtedly the 8 Bells. The same small public house that Bill Sykes, the villain of the tale, calls in for a drink after the murder of his girlfriend Nancy. So Charles Dickens has been here, got inspired, even though he's writing about a naughty villain, which makes sense in Hatfield. Well, yeah, and another thing, yeah, that flipping annoys me about that article, they said that this is a city and it's not. It's a town. This town's got so much amazing historical significance, like even on this road alone. This is the entrance to Hatfield House. It's a beautiful, stately home. Queen Elizabeth found out that she was queen here when she was on the grounds. Elton John played here. I remember because I was working up at the Red Lion. I went out for my ciggy break and I could hear him like, I'm still standing there and all that stuff. So yeah, when I used to work here, one of the staff members told me this crazy story. Keith Moon, one of the members of The Who, he was drinking here and he was getting loads of stick from these skinheads and basically they chased him out of the pub. He ran out, got in his car, ended up driving past him, running over his own driver. He killed him, killed his own driver, and then obviously shot off. How mental is that? I'm so sorry, we're just quickly filming something, but we'll be 2 minutes. We're filming a documentary about Hatfield. There was an article, and it said Hatfield is the 5th most boringest town in the world, right? And we're a bit like, hold on, I don't know about 5th. Hello, 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 how you doing? Just doing a little documentary about Hatfield. So we had to stop off at Simmons, because Simmons is obviously a staple of Hatfield, isn't it?
That's right, mate. Don't you ever forget that, yeah?
Yep, thank you.
Remember where you're at.
Yeah, that's it, always. See you later, cheers. Got the goods, boys, got the goods, mate. Sausage rolls, we're boys.
We've already discussed the likes of Charles Dickens, Queen Elizabeth I, Elton John. Like, what do you think it is that draws these historical, these cultural icons to Hatfield?
I don't know, really. I guess it's just something in the water, mate. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. The energy here is on a different level, but I don't know what draws them. I don't know. We'll give Elton a call. Elton, if you're listening, mate, why'd you come here? Why'd you come?
For what? What do you think Hatfield needs to do, or the people of Hatfield need to do to advocate for like the next generation of, you know, iconic Hatfieldians?
Yeah, we can always do more, and we can always provide more spaces to encourage them to be able to do that. They've got so many resources at the uni that, well, we don't really have access to, you know, unless you go there. For myself, I think, you know, I've got the Hatfield Tap, we've got the skate park.
Yeah, but isn't the skate park all locked up at the moment?
Yeah, it is.
Would this usually be super busy?
Usually not, well, back in the day, yeah, before they started building everything.
So yeah, man, I know this bowl like the back of my hand. And I love it. So yeah, they started building flats in this car park. They built this barrier around as a sound barrier, but it made no difference. And to try and visually separate it from the flats, so the people that live in the flats don't have to look at this, well, what they probably call an eyesore, what I call one of the best things that's ever happened to Hatfield ever. Oh yeah, and then there was one I always used to do for everyone back in the day. You go up to this vert wall, you jump up, and you lay back on the board and start down like that. Because it's fun. We used to do this as well, because you've got to get used to falling and transition. So you used to run along here and just jump in. So you know how to fall with it and how to be, because obviously it fucking hurts when you can really crack your head, you know. All the property around here, so many flats are springing up in all different areas of Hatfield. Every little bit of space that we have, they're trying to capitalise, and it's just such a shame because, as you can see, like, it's just desolate. And when we started coming here, when they were actually building the flats, the builders would come through and tell us, like, it's getting smashed down next week. So that's why us as skaters, we had a little jam here thinking it was going to get destroyed. I think that's what made noise about it, and maybe that's why they decided to keep it. But I think once everyone moves in there, we're going to come here and we're going to make noise, and we're going to show them that this is a space that we use. We want to show to the people that live here that the council fucked up, basically, in doing this. All right, Cliff. How you doing, man? But have you got any words on Hatfield, Cliff? Because obviously you've been living here for many, many, many moons.
1978 moved here.
1978?
Yeah, my wife and I were talking about moving away, but I said, no, we've got roots, you know what I mean?
That's it.
You've done the skate
Of
park.
course, yeah, that's my place, you know.
Have you
Like, I
done
know
the
you.
art like under the subways?
We haven't actually. Hey, yo.
And then there's the ghost that lives down there, the Hatfield House will tell you about.
The ghost?
The ghost of Hatfield.
What? Who is he? What is he? What? What? I didn't know about that. Just here, yeah? No worries at all. All good. Have a beautiful day. I was actually really heavy. So a lot of people think of Hatfield as a bit of a like dreary industrial town, but they don't know that there's beautiful countryside just on the outside of it. Like where I'm standing now, we call it the backfields. Beautiful cows here. So yeah, as you can tell, like it ain't all doom and gloom. Like when you do want to get out, just come down here, man. See you later. 1939 to 1945. During the Second World War, de Havilland was most noted for its Mosquito fighter bomber. Its lightweight construction created a bomber capable of outrunning enemy fighter planes, much to Hitler's dismay. Oh, that fucking Hitler, man. You know what I mean? Bastard. Basically, there's another amazing, beautiful thing about Hatfield. It has such a crazy, rich history with aviation. Right now, I'm actually in the old aerospace where they used to make planes in World War II to help with the war.
Yeah, it's a major employer this airfield. So a lot of people worked here, father and son worked here.
Okay.
When they shut the airfield, that was a big hit for the town. It took away jobs.
Okay.
So there's only little bits, like this taxiway, that are left. We got a mix of RAF type stuff, the Mosquito. Germans hated it, couldn't find it on radar because it's made of wood.
Another one,
Comet airliner, which was the first commercial civil liner.
That's so crazy.
You've flown in the world, had there not been the Comet first, those wouldn't be
That is so crazy, and I never knew that. Really lovely to meet you.
Okie-dokie.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Thank you. See you later, doggies. That's the Galleria. It's like the beacon of Hatfield. Most people that I know that ain't from Hatfield, I speak to about Hatfield, and they say that's the only thing they know, Galleria. Because they only see it when they're driving down from the A1. So yeah, this is the Galleria. We call it Gallas, the outlet store, which means basically all the things that didn't sell in the proper shops just gets sent over here, which is quite Hatfield in itself, I guess. There ain't much going on in there. It can be a bit dead from time to time, but man, we spent so many good times here growing up. Just coming with your friends, lingering around, window shopping, as 50 Cent would say. Saying like, yeah, man, you can go through. How you doing? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yes,
this
man.
Galleria.
Yes.
But Galleria is one of the best.
Yeah? What's your favourite shop? Favourite shop in there? Do you?
Galleria. That's TK Maxx.
TK Maxx. You know it.
A lot of people think Galleria is boring. What do you say to that?
They haven't been here. They haven't experienced it. Just the environment there. Then you see Galleria is one of the best.
Yes,
you
man.
just come here, Hertfordshire, for life.
Yes, love, brother. Thank you, man. Have a good day. We got voted the 5th most boringest town in the world. In the world. In the whole world. So that's what I'm saying. And we're like, nah.
What do you think makes Hatfield not boring then?
People.
Yeah.
I just think people are people. Doesn't matter where you live. If you're going to be boring, it's up to you.
I'm deeply offended.
Yeah.
Having been in Hatfield all my life, yes,
Yeah.
it's changed, and it hasn't always been a change for the better, but it just isn't true. Perhaps what people need to do is walk around with their eyes open.
What do you think about Hatfield? Give me Hatfield in a couple words.
Yeah, it's decent, man.
Decent?
Yeah, it's all right.
Have you had fun here?
Yeah, it's a great town, man.
Had to change.
Yes, massively.
Yeah.
Oh, so you prefer the old, how it was
I like
before?
the old one.
Yeah.
I don't know what to think about it. There hasn't really been much, I would say, going on. So.
Yeah. And what if there was something to go on, what would you sort of want?
Music.
Like, music, yeah?
Yeah.
So that's it, man. I run an open mic night at a pub up the road. It's the first Sunday of every month. Well, hopefully we can change your mind about Hatfield, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Fuck yeah, man.
Nice to meet you.
No, lovely to meet you too.
Nice
Have a
to
good
meet
day,
you.
man.
Nice one.
Peace.
So you've mentioned some notable names of people who have come through Hatfield, historically speaking.
Yeah.
But what about people that actually lived here? Are there any names that come to mind?
Yeah, man. So Guy Ritchie, the famous director. Got Mick Taylor, who was in the Rolling Stones. Donovan, the famous singer. He lived here for a bit.
So when you enter a new town, a lot of your notions of what that town is like will be based on its town centre. If you were an outsider looking into Hatfield's town centre, how do you think you would react to it?
Well, I would probably think it's a bit of a shithole, to be honest. But the thing is like, I've done that myself. Like, I've gone to different towns and you take a step in and you have a little look and you're like, oh, fucking hell, mate. Like, but the thing is like, I know this town and like, I've grown up here all my life, so, you know, I know how beautiful and amazing it is. Obviously, you wouldn't know that as an outsider because you don't know. It's easy to just look at somewhere and make assumptions for yourself based off your first look. It's like, don't judge a book by its cover, you know? There's millions of beautiful little communities around this country, and this is my one, you know? So, yeah. Look, a floating leaf. It's the ghost of Hatfield. These subways, man. There's a few of them dotted around Hatfield. Some people have done some good graff down here. Some people have done some pretty terrible graff. I think the council are forever trying to wash it off the walls. I used to write some stuff down here, like some lines from some poems that I really adored. I remember writing like this one by this famous poet, one of my favourite poets, Kai Tempest, and they said, "Are these my thoughts, or do they belong to my Smith? Too much green will turn dreams into myth." So I wrote it like right there, and then I also would write my own lines. So like I did one that was like, "My whole town's just a car crash. All I seem to see is soulless faces walking on the tarmac." This is Queensway Flats. It's one of Hatfield's twin towers. The other one being the Goldens Flats, just over there. It's the only sort of buildings you can see from afar that kind of define Hatfield.
Did you hear that they're actually bringing this down?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why?
Condemned.
It's condemned? Oh, bloody hell. When's that happening?
No, but I think they're trying to move out the last remaining people.
Oh, that's a shame, man. That's mad. We ain't just gonna have one tower then. This building here is definitely been missed, man. I never got to go to the top of it actually, so I might try and do that before they smash it down, man. This is St Ethelreda's, the oldest church in Hatfield. I think there's 2 prime ministers that are buried here. And yeah, this is where the 8 bells are.
So obviously we were talking earlier about getting on the roof of Queensway.
Yes.
As a great alternative, we have managed to actually organise going up here today.
No way, really? What? Behave.
Yeah.
What?
Mate, just think, mate. Look at the perspective you're going to get from up there.
I know, that's crazy.
New perspective. You write a poem about it.
Yeah. Hello. You right there? I'm Judd.
Do you have any questions?
I do a 2.5-hour talk on this church. There's a lot to tell you about. It goes back to 1200, but there's a church on this site before this one.
Wow.
Going back to at least, probably the 600s,
Oh
Anglo-Saxon.
my gosh.
Yeah.
Somebody was telling me that there's a tomb here that's quite unique.
Yes. Well, probably talking about Robert Cecil. And Robert Cecil was obviously Chief Minister to Elizabeth I and James I.
Oh my gosh.
That was his actual size. He was very small. Queen Elizabeth used to call him my little pygmy.
Right then.
There's a rope thing. It's more for when you're going down, but there's a rope thing you hang on to.
Okay.
It's when you get to the top end.
Yeah. Right, it's getting narrower and dirtier, boys. Okay. Wow. Oh my gosh.
What do you think?
Oh man, it is. I'm lost for words, to be honest with you. So basically, the article put us the 5th most boring town in the world.
I can't see how they can work that one out. Well, that just shows they've never been on this side of the railway, I don't think. Because it's surprising how many people don't know much of the existence of the original Hatfield. So many films have been made here, obviously at Hatfield House. I mean, the favourite, that was all filmed at Hatfield House.
Batman lived there for a time.
That's right, yes, that was his home. And I think Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, that was her home. Henry VIII always loved the palace. And in fact, he had originally planned when he married Catherine Harrigan, he was going to have his honeymoon here. When the Bishop of Ely died and he was due to make a new bishop, part of the deal was, OK, you can become Bishop of Ely, but I want the palace at Hatfield.
So he did a glorified house swap.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
So, John, how does that skyline compare to some of the other places on that list of the 10 most boring places around the world?
Well, I mean, I'm really honestly lost for words at how beautiful our town is from this point of view. And really how green it is. It's really special.
There's nothing boring about that skyline.
No, there isn't indeed. There really isn't, no.
So, Judd.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've barely scratched the surface of Hatfield today.
Yeah.
One thing I've noticed, though, a lot of the interesting things, the unboring things about Hatfield, have typically been quite historical.
Yeah.
Could you say that the article might hold some credence in the sense that today's Hatfield might be considered boring?
I mean, yeah, I can see what you're saying, definitely. And maybe that is what they were trying to tap into a bit more, but I still don't think it is, man. It's up to you, innit, to make the most out of your own situation. I've always been going to open mic nights around here, help setting them up, doing things like that. So, you know, you could ask 10 people if they think it's boring, and maybe 2 say it's not. Them 2 people can tell you all their experiences, you know, and I'm lucky to be one of them, man.
Speaking of the open mic night, is that where we're heading now?
That is exactly where we're heading. We're going up the hill to the Hatfield Tap, and I'm buzzing, because I think it's going to be a good one, man.
Fred Star, sweet as that, mate.
This is the Hatfield Tap open mic night. It's just a good place. We all come down to make music. I was chatting to the manager, and he ended up buying all this music equipment. So I asked him, I said, look, I used to do open mic nights. Could I do one here? And he said, yeah, do it. So,
what do you think the benefits are for Hatfield to have a place like this?
I think it's so needed, man. For example, like we've got a friend Pete just over there. He come to us a couple months ago, got involved, and just talking about how much it's been such a nice thing for him to do. You know, we grew up here. We really appreciate this town.
So we found this article that basically said Hatfield is a really boring town, like one of the most boring in the world.
You have got to be joking.
What would you say to that? Yeah.
They're probably going to the pub down the road.
My name is Judd Otene. I will be your host tonight. There was an article, and it was about the world's most boringest towns. And Hatfield, where did we place, Callum? 5th. We came 5th in the whole world. What a treat. What an accolade. I've lived in this town all my life, and yeah, I don't know if I agree with that.
Been to a lot of open mic nights before, and you feel a bit nervous as well. It's always nerve-wracking, but you can always get hecklers, and you can get just the vibe is a bit off, and it puts you in your shell a bit. This one's so open arms. Anyone's welcome, any skill, any talent you have. We've had people come here that have just performed for the first ever time, never been in front of people before. You just work on your craft, you know, which is obviously an amazing thing to do for someone that wants a creative outlet, you know, so.
Put your mind to it, maybe kick a rhyme to it, like a river run right through it. Just stay true, it's bloody hard to stay on course.
But they just leave me confused. We're not the same. Sometimes sleeping over tonight,
I've been coming here for a bit, and I must tell you that my very first time in the UK performing anywhere live was at the Tattoo, and I'm so happy that I'm here. And on the topic of Hatfield being the most boring place, as someone who's actually bashed on Hatfield, and now that I live in London, I miss it so much.
I'm the man of the year. I'm the man of the year, my friend. I'm the man of the year. Thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna put the guitar down now and I'm gonna do my little poem. Do you know what? I wrote this poem when I was about 16. And yeah, it's about Hatfield, so it goes like this.
No, it's a sip, because I picked it up, so I might as well. Hatfield town is the place of dreams. And growing up on these streets, man, I've seen some crazy things. You've got your smackheads that inject the syringe, and any day round here seems like a good day to binge. But growing up round here, I guess you could say that I learnt things. Fair few friends of mine ain't gonna fly away from here because we've all got that feeling of having burnt wings. Well, mine are flaming. And we all smoke weed and get high around here, I suppose it's the same thing. I'm always getting showered on, and it ain't even raining. But I vent my stress when I'm out there skating. From the Galleria to the train station, I'm non-stopping, ollie popping. Freddie said he forgot his ID, but he got in. I used to steal trainers from TK Maxx, but I'm a G because no one ever caught me. I congregated in Muck D's from 11 up to 14, and if I had a pound to spare, then mate, I'll probably give it ya. I know you don't want to buy no milk, it's sure to get your liver fucked. Sometimes I like I do say yes, and nah, sorry mate is a response quick. Because how can I learn to get what I want with a town that's plagued with ponces? Do you know what though? I think it will be sad when I gotta say my farewells. I think I will miss the stench of weed and piss that lingers in the stairwells. Thank you very much. Tales suggest that he jumped out of a window in the pub and onto his horse to escape from the Bow Street Runners, Britain's first police force. That's insane.
Like, if it was you jumped out the window, you'd be jumping onto a skateboard, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so, yeah. I mean, I always take my trusty steed with me wherever I go.
Simmons better than Greg's, though?
Of course. I mean, if Simmons and Greggs had a fight, yeah. But although Greggs is Northern, and like Northerners are nuts, but not in a bad way, I like Northern. This is the Hatfield Swim Centre. See that peak up there? It kind of spikes off each way. And I always wished to get a picture doing like a trip, like a bonus, sort of at the peak of the transitional bit. I mean, I'd love to give it a go. I mean, I don't know, that might be another doc for a different day, innit?
You've got the aviation history, you've got all this film history here where they filmed Band of Brothers and Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
I came here as a university student. I graduated in 1990. I've got a job in the area, in the district. I'm on to my third home. The kids have grown up here. It's a lovely place.
Could you ever say that it's boring?
Yes.